Good afternoon. I hope that everyone has had a wonderful Monday. Um, my name is Terry Estrada, watercolor artist, and I have before you set a pre-drawn set of sea creatures on a 4x6 postcard. I kind of wanted to show you the back of them. They are on watercolor paper, and uh, so I mask them off with tape. This is what I just finished yesterday on my last live. I did four spiders. There we go. We have a little jumping spider, an abstract spider, kind of almost realistic kind, and then a tarantula, a blue tarantula. There we go. So today we are going to be painting. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry on that. There we go. My cord got stuck around my camera lens. Okay, so I've got four sea creatures that we're going to paint today. And like I always do, I draw them darker than what is necessary for a transparent watercolor should be, because I want it to show up on screen first. So we have a seahorse, sea turtle, an octopus, and a type of crab. I'm not really certain as to the type or whatever. And we get to decide what color we make all of these ourselves. So without making this drawn out too far, I want to go ahead and try to get as much graphite off of my paintings now as possible. I'm going to spin my board around just so I can get these better. This is a kneaded eraser, so I can take the graphite off. I forgot to tag people in this video, so I hope that was okay. It just said that apparently my internet connection is not as good as I want it to be. All right. So because they're all different types of sea creatures, I do want to make one unifying thing, and that's going to be their background. So on all of them, we're going to do the same color background for. I'm going to use I was going to use my mop brush, but I think, yeah, I'll go ahead and use my mop brush. So clean, fresh water. I'm going to go into my phthalo blue. Phthalo is my go-to ocean color that I like to use. And I'm going to try to make a big puddle of it, because we're going to be using it for all four paintings. There we go. All right, I'm going to just start, and this is just a wet on dry motion of just putting, I don't want to put too much water on my page. I just want the straight color. And I'm going to do this to all four of my paintings today. And you might be able to see like I've noticed that, and this is not like the highest quality uh, watercolor paper I've ever painted on, so you can kind of see where the the water is kind of lifted up and uh, puddling where it's not really supposed to ever really puddle, and that's because I feel like it doesn't have a good sizing. Now, sizing is something that watercolor paper, if it's 100% cotton, it'll have sizing on it, which is just kind of how they make the watercolor lay flat. And they mix it with the fibers of the cotton, and it allows the pigment to hold onto or sometimes go deep within the realm of the paper. And I feel like this doesn't have an equal sizing on, like it wasn't dipped really well or saturated properly. I got a little sniffles. I have to try to remember where my arms intersect and where they are free of the water. Hello, Sarah. I know I have an obligation that I have to go to at 5 o'clock today, so I couldn't continue my sessions at 5. So that's trying to remember. There we go. So today's early just so I could get out to where I need to be. And because it's alive, y'all can watch it at any time for the next 30 days. This is the most tedious one. Everyone, all the other ones are pretty much a straight coverage, but I had to remember where all the arms of my octopus are going. Alrighty. Grab my kneaded eraser. Graphite sometimes carries the weight of like a natural border between the water and your paint as well. So in this case, I don't mind that it's helping me, but in general, we don't necessarily like to have uh, the hardship of a boundary like that. I'm just adding water. This one was pretty intensely dark down at the bottom, which turtles love to just sink down and get to the bottom of the ocean, and then they fall asleep. So that's a kind of nifty little information there. I'm gonna request some margarita salt be brought to me. I'm gonna show y'all a little trick since this page is so wet. There's a thing that you can do with extra water. I'm going to clean my brush off. Now, margarita salt has chunkier crystals on it. So I'm going to take some margarita salt and I'm just going to drop it on my page. Just for that sea turtle. So two things I've never painted before are a seahorse and a crab. I've never painted either one of these. I love seahorses. I feel like they're just like beautiful little sea dragons. But I've never painted one. Just picking up just fresh water from my water basin. Most seahorses have the coloration that they have is wherever they live. Like if they live by sea coral, they're going to be colored the color of the coral that they live next to. Or if they live in like where there's a lot of grass, most likely they'll be colored the same shape and color of the grass, just because they are characteristically shaped and colored to blend into their environment. Very, very much little chameleons of color and shape. So we'll have to really pick a design for this guy. He was kind of a simple drawing, not necessarily flamboyant or too exotic in his colorings. All right, so the last one is my crab, and I kind of feel like I'll do the same kind of bubbly thing for the crab that I did for the turtle. And now the crab has a bunch of little parts, so that's what I'm going to try to get first, to go around his little leggy parts. Because I can't remember what parts are the leg and what part is his little choppy body. I was actually, I wasn't certain what my next set of paintings were going to be. And then I was watching this K-pop drama that I like, not K-pop, but K-drama. Uh, and they were cooking, and they were making crabs, and I thought, oh, sea creatures. So thank you, little K-pop, K-drama. Mm-hmm. I like to make little puddles. It really brings the intensity, and then it doesn't allow the water to dry up as fast when we do puddles. I'm thinking I might have to turn this over just so I can see where I need to go next. I got my drawing a little too close to the edge on this side. Let's see. Okay. There is the leg. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. Okay. And then his upper big claw. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing any. All right. Once I get around this claw, I will then add the sea salt, margarita salt. Don't we can all agree that phthalo is such a pretty color. for like an ocean blue. It makes me happy about that. Oh, almost forgot the inside of this claw. Okay. So just like the turtle, I'll add some salt and let's see what we can accomplish. Almost like he was sitting at the bottom of the ocean. All right. Now, I can start with my octopus. I'm going to not use the quill. I'm going to use my size 6 black. Sorry, I keep losing my little towels I used to tap off my water. There we go. I'm going to use my size 6 black velvet silver brush here, and there we go. I think we're going to make, I think there's a feather in my, okay. I'm just reactivating these colors over here. Daniel Smith watercolor paint. And so where he has his fleshy color, I'm going to use this kind of an orangey red, and what to call it, a valve right here where he spits out his water to move. And I'm going to leave that kind of I got blue on me, sorry. I'll leave that valve white for right now, and I'm just kind of giving a little bit of a border. He's got a little eye there, and his, there we go. So everywhere where I feel like there is going to be a fleshy tone, I'm going to paint that in this color. Now the underneath where the little suckers are, that'll be a different color. I'm out of focus, I think. There we go. And I've made like little circles where the little suckers are, just to help remind me of where everything is at. Again, we're not going for perfection with this. We're not going into super detail. You can see that I'm crossing over. I haven't put any shadow shades yet or anything that's defining it. I'm just dropping down like some base colors, and it kind of fades out right there. And then on this one, he only has a hint there. And then it comes back around. Ah, got my pink into the blue. All right, let's count his legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And we've got all 8. All right. So now that I've got kind of a base color, this one, I can put okay. I'm now going to go into, I have my opera pink right next to this quinacridone red. I won't be upset if my opera pink gets mixed in with it. I just didn't have enough space whenever I was putting out my colors. Next time I think I would put the quinacridone red in with the pyrrole red, and then just be done with it that way. So now I want to add these like little shadowy parts on. So like right here, it's going to be a deeper shade of red here because this one's behind it. And then we also have like he's, I want to say, I don't even know, bulbous area here. I don't know how to shape an octopus. And it's like blobby. And and I don't know. I don't even know. And then like right in here, where it's coming around that corner. And I'm looking at my reference drawing, and I can't remember if that leg went on top or I believe this is under. So on both sides, it'll have like a start and a stop of a shadow, and then like around the eye. And then back here, it's gonna be deeper. Right about here. Comes down to the, it's about to turn. Comes this way. Oh. All right. So now I don't like like hard edges here, so I'm just gonna pull this out. Soften up this edge. Take it down to the try to keep my paper in focus here for you. With just a little bit of scrubbing, we are able to show the roundness, kind of flabbiness of what an octopus looks like, and give him some texture as well. And rinse my brush out because that is too dark for me here. I wanted that to stay light. There we go. Okay. Okay, so where each of his legs come up out of this like goo part of his arm, here we go. And again, we're not, trying to do too much detail. I want to make it look somewhat realistic, but not, I'm not out to, this is not a super detailed octopus that it's going to be a ride or die on the way it looks. Y'all guys are knowing that I'm doing an impression of an octopus, not necessarily its whole life here. Okay. I feel like I could move on to the sucker parts and then just come back in. So with the sucker parts, I want to do an orangey base. I will put a little bit more of that red in there, but I want it to be a complete different color. Adding some, oh yeah. going to make these eye marry just a little bit better. So that I can put little suckers on top of it, and it'll pop out a little. If I was to do the underside too dark, when I put the suckers on top, you wouldn't be able to differentiate where something might have started and ended. There we go. I'm going to take some more of this water out. There we go. And I seen right here where I missed a whole section. So I will come back in here. There we go. Do, 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 do. I'm going to add just a little bit of this red to a dark black, the lamp black, and it's going to kind of make a purpley color. And that's what I'm going to fill in right here. And where his eye is. And now, I think I'm going to take that same color and on my, just like a little purpley orangey brown color. And I'm going to make my little suckers. And I'm just making like little puddles so that the paint is puddling where I want it. And then in a minute, I'm going to suck up some of that paint after it leaves like a ring of water in there. Just a couple more. If my brush was too wet, it wouldn't work. Okay, so now I've rinsed my brush off. I'm drying my brush. And so then I can come back in here and just suck out some of that moisture on and then just dry off my brush and do it again. So it kind of leaves it like a center where it's devoid of color there. All right. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. 8 twirly curlies. All right, I'm done with octopus. All right, sea turtle. Are we dry? I believe so. So before I get started with the sea turtle and with the crab, I'm going to take my trash can over here and my internet apparently is being drained by something. I'm going to take the salt crystals that are remaining and I'm just going to, with a dry, oh, I want you to see this. So this wasn't dry all the way. So I'll be careful with my turtle. Okay. There's still some chunks on the turtle, but I didn't want to do it like I did the crab. So there we go. Okay. So the turtle, his base color is going to be a nickel azo yellow. And he's going to get this color everywhere. It kind of has, it's a very bright color, yellow, but it has the tendency to pick up an orange tone, and orange and blue are complementary colors. So I figured this would work really well with, I'm just making puddles to color my sea turtle. I don't want to necessarily go all the way out to the edge just yet because I don't want it bleeding back to a green just yet. Even though sea turtles do have a lot of green, I don't want to pull that just yet. Since I put that layer of salt too, it's really, I, I'm not certain if it's showing up on camera, but boy, is it pretty. The sparkle that you get, and okay. All right, so now we've got our base coat of yellow. I'm going to go into the serpentine green, and it's an olivey color, and it's mixing with this, that phthalo that I put on there. I don't mind that. And we're going to, just on the top portion of each of his shells, we're going to come and touch. If they bleed, they bleed. If they don't, they don't. But that's where I am putting the color. Watercolor turtles have a lot of beautiful coloration in their shells that sometimes you have to go over so many times. Now I have painted sea turtles. They are a beautiful creature. Now right under here is the base of his shell. He's got some fleshy tones as well, but where the base of his shell is where I am going to try to get. There we go. Now I'm going to pull some of that color, and I want to mix it with this brown and this blue. And we're going to come back again. We're going to just tap off the top portion of this shell on each blade. They have several blades that connect their shells, and we're going to be like doing this repetitively, layering each of the shell blades with a color. Pardon me. And as our painting gets drier and drier, it's going to be so I'm also getting a like some kind of internet drain here. There we go. Yeah, I just took mine off. All right. So now I'm going to take just a clean and dry paintbrush, and I want to go the opposite direction of what I had been doing. So take off, wipe off, take off. So instead of the top left, we're going bottom right. We're just trying to make it show that it's a distinct, like, little square or little shell base there. And I don't like hard edges. All right. Now on the edge of his legs are the same kind of coloring, but I'm going to just do the outer layer of it. And just the tippity top of his head. Okay, I'm going to go into my, I was going to go into undersea green, but I feel like I want to go into, I want to go into my Aussie red first and just introduce a little goldeny brownish color. Aussie red with a little bit of lamp black. And I just want to come in just right in this little bottom corners. And I told you it was repetitive. Turtle shells, they all mimic the same design. And I just want to give it a little bit of depth right there. And I want to pick up some on his neck. So it was a clean brush, dapped off, and then I'm just rotating my brush, dabbing it to pick up some of the color, some of that nickel azo. And it also pushes the pigments that we put on already. Yes, that's the pretty color that I'm wanting. I really needed that honey brown. Okay, so because he's also got these like honey brown spots right on his paddles of his legs. And yeah, there we go. Oh, that makes me happy. Makes me happy right there. Oh, that's so pretty. So, so pretty. For the cutting in and out, I don't know what is going on with my internet over here in Northtown, but not Northtown. Well, I mean, we're north of town, but anyways, I apologize for cutting it in and out. Now, underneath him, he is going to be a darker shade underneath. So I'm going to add just a little bit more lamp black, and then I'll pull it down. A little bit of lamp black at the base of belly too. And pull it out. Oh, he's so pretty, 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 pretty. Okay, Aussie brown with a little bit of black. Made my little spot color. And I need spots here and here and here. Here, here, here. And then he needs spots on his head. Oh yeah, so, so, so pretty. And then I gave a swipe of color. Oh, so pretty. Okay. I need to add his little eye. His little nostrils. And a very, very thin line to his. He's so cute. Okay. I don't like that hard line right there, but it is pretty. All right. I believe our sea turtle is going to be finished. Okay. So now I'm going to twirl around. I think I'm going to go upside down with the crab. Now with the crab, I am going to go full-fledged into this red, but I feel like I'm going to go into the red, but into this orangey mix that I made earlier. Just because crabs are only red when you cook them. And they mainly have like this orangey brown flavor there. Flavor. Oh my lord. Okay. Coloring. Now I don't mind that this kind of messed up in here. I will deal with that in a minute. I am going to do his large claws first, just to see if this is what I'm wanting. So I'm having to remember that I'm upside down, and I want to just address the side that's going to be closest to his body. And using the color of the paper. Oh, there's a piece of salt on there. There we go. The color of his I think I like that. So they're sectioned, like the crustacean area part of him. He is I don't know what to call it. Segmented. They have segments. And something got pinched off, it could grow back. So I'm just going to go little by little doing these like segmented um, pulls on his leg. And then I'll pull up the color as 1, 2, 3. I don't even know how many legs he's supposed to, or segments each leg was supposed to have. And then I will use my damp brush to pull up. So leaving it segmented, but there we go. I don't know. Can you see that real good? Okay. Okay, good. Well, it keeps telling me that my internet is failing, so and that if I want to stop. I don't want to stop, but I also don't want to not have my, and I hope that the microphone is doing better. I've got this new little tiny little microphone that I'm using so that you can't hear my air conditioner unit going. I'm using just clean water to maybe take off some of this blue that I accidentally rubbed on, but I'm not mad at it because it almost is giving it like a shadowy kind of feel right here, and I'm okay with that. It almost looks dirty, uh, like dirty water. I don't know what to describe it. In a good way, dirty water in a good way, but like my crab is he'd been foraging. I know I wanted to do the other side of the legs, but I figured I want to see if this is going to work the way I want it to work first. Oh yeah. It's like I'm barely having to give it any kind of color. Oh, I like that. So like I'm hinting that there's like this area where its shell is meeting and stuff, and I don't have to like give it too much detail. And there we go. Perfect. And it has like this line that goes down its back, so but I wouldn't want that to just be an absolute thing. So let's see if I can't buffer it out. There we can. Okay, so I'm going to go back to these leg segment things because it's got like a butt on it where the legs would have been. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm just using clean water, a damp brush, and I'm just kind of pulling these edges down. I just added some more salt right into my crabby area. Again, I'm not mad at it because it's almost like it's turning it purple. This crab is having some fun. He's like manna from heaven. That's that Finding Nemo reference. Nectar. I'm gonna go back upside down again. There we go. Now the big one had like these like things on it for you could definitely see that it was a claw. A claw. I'm honestly thinking this is going to be one of my fastest tutorials on a 4 card that I've had. So I am almost finished with this guy, and we'll just have almost a solid color for our seahorse. All right. You know what? I'm going to get into the lamp black, and I'm going to give him little dark black eyes. There we go. Doodle, doodle, doodle. So he is done. So now our seahorse is going to come to life. And like I said before, we get to choose whatever we want because it's ours. And but I really don't know what color to choose for the seahorse other than like a buff titanium beigey color. We could do green. Kind of feel I'm going to go to this buffy beige color. And I want to do just a wash of his color. So I'm got a lot of water on my brush, and we're just going to lay down this color. Little hint of water. Okay, so other than his like actual eyeball, I have covered him completely with this neutral beige, buffy orange color. I don't know what else you could call it. Okay. And I want it to dry faster. So I'm going to get out my heated tool. Because we've got to leave in 15 minutes. And I am not dressed. So seahorses now dry. And I'm going to take that buffy beigey color and I'm going to introduce it to my little black puddle that I have here. And it turned it a little grayish brown. I don't want a ton of water on it. And actually, I'm going to switch to my size 2. And believe it or not, this is probably going to be the easiest of them because we're just going to follow around the edges of where I have drawn with a bubble of paint. They almost have like a spider webby formation kind of feel. Like the texture on them is very uh again, I don't even know how to describe it. Um Not brittle, but like very bony, very structurally there. And because I added the color that's on his body plus the lamp black, it is going to be like whenever I can run another paintbrush around this in just a minute, it'll marry those two colors together. It's not like I put purple uh, and blue. It's gonna, they'll understand each other. Complement. Woo. See there. Complement each other. Okay. Alrighty. I know it doesn't look exactly where I want it to be, but again, I am crunch timing. I'm going to add a little bit more of the buff color. And with my size 2, I'm going to come into just the bottom half of his belly. Trying to take away that hard line edge that we put on. And then I'm going to wiggle it out here. But they're very structural. Like, it's not just me painting it this way. It's how they live. So even though I don't like hard lines, a seahorse does. Just kind of wiggle in that line, giving it something. Almost cartoony, like. Alrighty. Okay. Oh, and there goes my size 6 down on the ground. Alright, so I feel like I'm as done as I can get in the time frame that I had. Thank you so much for letting me come and do another set of 4x6 postcards. And thank you so much for watching. Let me see. There we go. My camera is not on straight, but it's okay. I will do another live tomorrow, and I'm not certain again what we're going to do, but I feel like the backgrounds, the techniques, those are new. Thank y'all so much, and y'all have a good day. Well, maybe.